Yeah, good. We're about to begin. So thank you everyone being here, everyone listening there, everyone in the future watching this recording. I'm Matheus Pagani, and we are starting the agent camp to go through this week, 6 days of lessons, 6 days of event to learn a thing or two, to get some things in practice, to ideate, to get to know each other, to do some networking, to have some pizza. Of course, that's very important, and to build something. At the end, in this not six, like 5 days of building from Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, and so forth. 5 days of building, we're going to have something that is going to be the beginning of something bigger. Might be a startup, might be a portfolio project, might be a point of connection for your next co-founder, your next friend, or it's going to be opening opportunity for you to get into Web3, get into the AI, get into development here in the ecosystem of New York and globally. Okay, so let's start first hearing a bit of you. What would be the background? I would love to have Navneet later. Okay, later, no worries, to speak about himself, and then we're going to explain the structure of the bootcamp. We still have some people joining, but then we, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes, we get started with the content. Okay, so how many of you came here because of AI? All of you. How many come here because of Web3? One, two. Okay. Who thinks that Web3 is a scam? No, you can, because some, yeah, there are many out of Web3 too. Because this is the thing, we started doing these boot camps like 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago now, for teaching people about Web3 development. And the thing is that Web3 was too much focused in many aspects for the financial part. Until now, we saw the possibility of going consumer grade, solving the problems of AI with Web3, decentralizing access of data, decentralizing influence, and all. So this is a bootcamp that is going to showcase the good part of those two techs, and at the end, we're going to find the perfect convergence. How these two are going to empower you to build like very competitive startups, so be an engineer in a very competitive job market, knowing how to navigate through those two ecosystems. Okay. Speaking of ecosystem, we are in New York. I'm not from here. I'm from Brazil, and it's great to be here. Enduring this cold, but feeling the warmth for this room, and like why I'm here, why I'm New York, and why New York is so important in the hub, in the tech hub, either for Web3 and AI. It's not like San Francisco, it's Stanford and all, but do not sleep on New York because there's a lot of things going here. And then I would invite Navneet for a quick presentation about Build City, about the partnership here. Do you have someone from NYU too? No, okay.
Yeah,
So
they will be coming. I think a lot of people are coming. So first of all, thank you so much, guys, for coming. And first of all, thank you, Matthias, for coming all the way from Brazil. And Matthias has a big heart, as well as that he has been in the teaching for more than a decade. And education is the one way that that is the way that you can cross borders, right? There are so many other ways, but that's the only way to get the empowerment. And he has that thing that how we can empower people to work on this new technology. And technology is a way to empower as well as that enable yourself to do beyond, not just whatever that your capacity. You can build anything that you have idea. We have seen that in past, that people have built, like, why I give you like bit of analogy that what we think, then why we started to Web3, but we are not just restricting ourselves to Web3, we are going beyond that. So the when we had the Web 1, right? Web 1 was basically read. People were putting into the data on the data centers, and then we were just consuming that. Then it was very restricted. There were few folks that they had the big servers, then they were just putting the data on it. Right? Now it came to Web 2, right? Web 2, we had the opportunity where we have the read and write. So people were putting the data, and then we were also able to upload the data onto the servers, and we were able to consume that data. So in that era, we have seen the big companies like Facebook, all these Google and search engines, and then that what evolution happened on that. Now we came to the, it's called post web, which is also considered as a Web 3, right? So the read, write, and own. what is the way people ask us that what is the value proposition for Web3? That this is the simplest analogy that I share with people that there was opportunity where we had a lot of corporations, they were using the data without even letting us know, right? And we all have seen that someone has prosecuted and they were asked for multiple questions. So now with the technology that we have in hand, that we can incentivize users. I am personally, if you ask, if business is asking for my data, I'm open to it, right? That any one of you that you will be open to share the businesses to your data. But when businesses is flourishing, that we need some kind of incentives for that, right? So that's why we started teaching this technology. This is beyond crypto. You will not see, we don't talk about that. We just talk about technology, how this technology can help people to build the businesses that they want. Yeah, we have NYU now. So.
Good. That's good. Yeah, thanks, Butte City, for helping us with the community reach, representing New York. We have NYU as partners too. Anush is coming also.
Google is to NYU.
Oh, nice. Want to do a quick description about the NYU and New York?
NYU blockchain, what you guys are doing in
NYU blockchain. So it's as the name tells us.
Yeah, you can come here.
That's right. It don't have time to say fresh. Yeah.
So the partnerships that NYU Blockchain Lab. So we organize events and workshops, hackathons. So just recently we partnered with the Bill City. So to do these kind of hackathon workshops. But previously we did
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, with 3 bootcamp. So this is our second workshop. Yeah. Down the line we also planning. Actually I wanted to let you talk later.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot for participating.
Yeah. So one last thing before I show that Bill City is going to be beyond technology. We are creating the community where we all can build whatever we want to build. We are not just technology is just an enabler, and then as a community we want to provide the ecosystem where people can just learn, come, and then build whatever with a like-minded people. We want to give the sense of community. Whenever we come here, we feel that okay, this is a place where we are not judged whichever background that you come from, and then you can build with the like-minded people. So this is a bit about this, I guess. Thank you
Wonderful.
so much for answering some.
So what we're doing while we're here, we are participating of the Agent Camp. It is a series of events. Let me just see what. It is a series of events that started online this year, powered by Dabl Club. I'm going to present all of them in a second. That is part of this ongoing, how do I say, ongoing movement that started at the end of last year of AI agents. We have been speaking about this more than a year, but you might have seen a lot of posts about that, about Eliza, about those bots, about how Twitter bots, how DeFi can be empowered by this. So this is where Dabl Club, Agent Camp is positioned. And the whole goal of Dabl Club is to bring as many builders as possible around the world to connect, build, and grow on Polygon. I met these guys in San Francisco, and the last bootcamp I did in September last year. And from then to now, we started to do a lot of these bootcamps, a lot of these partnerships in community-wide events. So they are based here in Station 3 with Hadron. We have the partnership with Celo here too for this office. I'm going to speak about all of that. So you see that this is part of a way bigger movement. Here it's like a small room, but we are very well represented here with all of you participating to grow, connect, and build decentralized AI agents with the projects, with the ideas, or even with the skills that you're going to apply for the ecosystem. You might be looking at participating at some hackathon, looking at bounty programs, applying for grants, and we'll have all that covered with the Dabl Club. This is why they are organizing this bootcamp exactly for you. And we are going to start with introduction day. What is AI development? What is actually AI before we start coding with it, building AI agents and all? We're going to guide you through building the first application tomorrow here at the same office. And then in the third day, we're going to do a deep dive into the LLM architecture and why agents are like, there are some complexities why agents are built the way that they are built, why we need to manage context, why we need to delegate tasks and all of that. So 3 days of conceptual introduction. Raise your hand if you're like senior developer, if you're a developer a lot of applications, backend, okay, you, okay, you didn't participate in the last one. So let me tell you, some parts of these first 3 days might be a bit boring. I'm going to try and throw jokes all the time and make it funny, but it's like introductory. If it's the first time that you're deploying a front-end application, then you're going to enjoy this a lot. So it's more like introductory. We have a smaller room now. This is the idea, and then we're going to move for a bigger venue called Hadron. That is also a community partner here. I'm going to speak about them later. On the Thursday, I'm going to announce that again, and also you don't forget. It is nearby in Station 3. So we are going to go for a bigger venue because we're going to see coding decentralized AI agent with Coinbase, with Agent Kit. Lincoln is going to be there. It's going to be big. It's going to be good stuff. We're going to have decentralized AI workshops in Friday with all the protocols, with Aura, with all the funds. We're also going to have classes like the other days, but with those workshops. And then in this Saturday, if you are not with hangover from Valentine's Day, or I don't know what are your plans, but in this Saturday, it's going to be a full day of building for the September. We're going to do like a demonstration at the end and showcase your project. Okay, so please be mindful of the venue changes. I'm going to stress more on that, but starting on Thursday, we're going to change there. So it's 5 days of lessons, of building, and then the final 6 day of pitching for you to achieve your goals. Okay, so this is starting in San Francisco. This was the boot camp there at the middle of Tech Week. We had like 100 and I don't know if I recall, let me check. 120 people so participating. Looking at the community of Luma here. Yes, so this was a kicking where we started everything. It was a kickoff. Okay, I'll sort it here. And this was like a real picture, like 120 people sitting in a room like this. And at the end of this bootcamp, we had 5 projects submitted. They went to Hacking, to Global, and stuff now. In New York, last month, about 2 months ago in December, we had 40 people participating, and 9 projects were built. So New York is beating San Francisco in the face. Much more quality, you see, much more density. And one of the projects, Byte AI, I've heard of them. You saw this because they were like retweeted by Coinbase. They are building an agent for delivering pizza. Like, I'm excited to see this kind of thing. Like in New York, not in SF. You see, there is a trend here, and the goals are upskill your career, like find a project. If you're looking for a job, find a job there. Learn new things, learn about AI, learn about Web3, launch your own project. If you want to launch like a startup, if you want to launch a portfolio project, you're going to do that under 1 week. To finding a job, connecting with companies trying to hire. We have one of the perks. I didn't get many perks for this bootcamp, but one of the perks is with JobStash. Job aggregator might help you to get closer to your next high-paying job opportunity. You're going to pitch your projects. We're going to have the participation of Supermoon Ventures at the end, trying to get Delta VC2 with Damodar to come here and judge in the last day. So you're going to pitch your project to these people. You're going to pitch your project for Lincoln, from Alec, from these protocols. You might earn grants. You might earn like connections with these judges, with the mentors of this bootcamp, and make connections. Find friends, find co-founders, and maybe even colleagues from jobs. Like one of your friends find a job and then they hire another position, then invite you. This all, I'm saying, I love this thing because this all happened in the past. We have educated more than 5,000 students in all of these bootcamps, online and in person, and this is what we see happening. Okay, so we are going to cover all of these topics that you saw on the page: introduction to the AI, building with AI, building a front end, using AI to code. Using AI to code AI, it's a lot of inceptions, AI agents, decentralized AI infrastructure, Web3 building, all of that together. And our sponsors, as I have mentioned before, are Polygon, that sponsors Hadron, Polygon that sponsors Dabl Club, is like our major sponsor. We have Celo, that is sponsoring us with this place that we are having today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Hadron, that is sponsoring with this space that they're going to have in all the 3 days of this bootcamp. The first community partner you have met, Navneet, that did the presentation here. We have Supermoon Ventures, like I mentioned briefly, there Elena is coming here to judge, and Sandra is going to mentor, help you through your journey of being like a startup founder or positioning yourself in the ecosystem. And Blockchain Lab at NYU. NYU is small university. I don't know if I have heard a lot. Okay. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot. This means a lot having those 3 communities here together with Polygon, with Hadron, and Celo. It means that we are doing a meaningful thing. Okay. So this is the summarization of what we are going to do. And I invite all of you for joining the GitHub repository that I'm going to explain you the structure. I thought that I had it open here, but I do not. Sorry about that. I'm going to generate a QR code for you to join the repository. Pick it here. And not necessarily for you to code now. I know that we don't have tables here now. You're not going to need to code right now. We are going to code a lot, but not exactly now. You can relax a little. And the repository itself is going to be the material for this bootcamp. Yes, the repository is going to be the material. Let me explain that. I'm going to give you the link. I'm going to put like a QR code for you to scan this right now. This repository is going to have the README with the whole content for the bootcamp, the explanation, introduction of what you're going to do, exactly what we have just covered, and the lessons itself, like folder 1, lesson 1 for today. Hello, my friend. Oh, nice to have you here. Lesson 2 tomorrow, and now until Friday. And then Saturday, there is no lesson. It's just the demo day. Okay. So let me create a QR code. Let me paste here in the chat too, in case that we have following. See, I'm all there. Okay. Hello, people. And I'm going to create a QR code with this. QR code generator. So that you can scan and have access to the repository. And this is going to be your, okay, whatever. Just download this. Come on. I will need to hack this page. Just 1 second. I want this. Oh, it's an SVG. That's not good. Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying like you don't have access to like the web page, the Luma page.
Luma. Yes.
There's like a
I can send a.
you just send the link.
Yeah. It's just that Luma is complaining because we're sending too many emails. Yeah. Let me see.
And do you guys have a Wi-Fi that we can use?
There is one in the whiteboard out there. Okay. Let me try the QR code. It's going to be quicker. The Wi-Fi is in the whiteboard out there. Is that it? I should have remembered it by now. What's the Wi-Fi password?
Oh, it's literally for everyone, all lowercase, with the O as the 0. Yeah.
Everyone, right?
Everyone, yes. And EVERYO with a, yeah, you got it. Every with a EVERY.
Every.
Yeah, yeah. You got it though.
Yeah, forgot the.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I just noticed that I typed it too small. I guess you really did, right?
Wait, I might have a solution for you.
You're going to make an AI agent, that's right?
That's it. I think I actually have
You are well resourceful.
I don't even know how I just, that's been in my bag for like 6 months. And
It was waiting for this
it
moment.
was perfect. So you keep. I actually think it's been if we're oh.
Okay. And all lowercase.
Is that cool?
And the network is prosperity again, right?
Yeah.
And if I have done that before, I would have saved a lot of your time. Sorry about that. It's all good. Okay. So let's use this QR code for you to get access to the repository. I can send in the chat later to in the Luma. So this is going to have all of the content of the page, but also we're going to interact with it. It's going to be a platform for learning. You're going to see this QR code. You're looking for, okay, that's good. It sounded confusing. Let me hide this. Okay. So here, we are going to interact with this repository to ask questions, to interact with all the students' questions, to submit our group or idea first and then our group, and submit the final project. All inside here. We did the same thing for the AI to Web3 bootcamp, and I do that in all of my bootcamps because we need to have the practice of using GitHub as a showcase, as a place for us to have data or any other competitor like GitLab or anything like that, for us to put our information, for us to discuss about our projects. So for example, these are all of the projects created in the last bootcamp. They submitted through here, they were discussing the ideas through here, they were receiving feedbacks here. So this is going to be the channel of collaboration. We can have like a Telegram chat, yes. We can have like a WhatsApp chat, yes. But let's exercise this. Using the GitHub for collaborating for information is very powerful, especially when doing like open source technology, when collaborating asynchronous. So being able to just things like this, a submission like this, and coordinate and ask about things and post updates and all of that with GitHub is great, especially because of issues. Anyone can come here after one of those lessons. Let's say you can't attend tomorrow, and then you're going to watch the recordings, you're going to wait, connection was lost. No. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, hello, Colin. Hello, hello, hello. We have a special guest. Let me wait. Oh, hello, Colin. I guess you can turn on your mic now.
Oh, hello. Hi, everyone.
Trying to connect the screen here,
I
but
saw the crowd when I joined a minute ago.
increase.
I don't mean to interrupt, but hi, everyone. I'm Colin from the Dabl Club. I'm in Texas at the moment. I wish I could be there for this event.
Say hello to everyone. I'm going to put everyone on camera now.
What?
Let me take it. Okay. I'll take this filter out. Okay. Yeah, but the internet's a little buggy right now, but you're going to see everyone.
Nice.
Okay.
How's the Celo office?
It's
Awesome space.
How are you finding the Celo office, people? Very good.
Cool. Nice to see everybody. Yeah, there you go. You can take it off there.
Okay, let me see if I can. Yeah, for some reason I cannot change my background. Like it's
Fine. I saw them earlier.
Yeah, you were seeing everyone before, right? We had the.
Yeah, I saw everyone a minute ago.
Yeah. Oh.
Thanks, Bing.
Okay. Now we can see everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Colin Lowenberg from the Dabl Club. If you want help building anything on Polygon or anything in Web3, we've been running Agent Camp online. And now we're going to be running Agent Camp in New York, Denver, and San Francisco. And we want to keep it going. So invite your friends to come join. We want, and we're also, I'm excited to announce that at the end of Agent Camp, or even before the end of Agent Camp, you guys will get an opportunity to submit your side project or your main project, whatever you're working on, to win some prizes. So we want to build a list of people, projects, and prizes, and whatever you're working on, we would love to know more about. So we'll send out an invite to apply, and you could win a prize and be invited to speak on stage in Denver or on our online version of Agent Camp. Our goal at Dabl Club is to connect 1 million new developers to Web3. And we realize that AI is what really people want to learn. So we pivot our whole company to focus on AI. And right now, agents are the main focus. So we launched Agent Camp at the beginning of this year, and we've had over 2,000 people take the online version. So with that success, we want to do in-person events where people can really connect and collaborate, particularly in hotspots like New York. So sorry I'm not there today. Just had to take care of family. But Matheus is awesome. I'll give it floor back to Matheus. Thanks for letting me speak.
Thanks a lot, Colin. People are excited already for the 5 days, 6 days of building. That's good. That's good. So, Polygon just confirmed. That's game on. We have now 5 days to impress Colin. It's very difficult to impress, right, Colin? So, just kidding.
I'm easy. I'm very easy to impress. But also we want you guys to impress us. So we know if whether you're just getting started and you're new to this, then we've got Matheus there, so you can actually ask questions. But you can also join us online. So we actually have an online chat group of probably over 2,000 people now in our Telegram. And so if you need any support, you can go to dabl.club. I can't share screen, but you can go to that website, and yeah, you can load up that website for me, and you can join our community on there. So we're here to support people building. We're sponsored by Polygon, but we also work with every chain out there. We really want just people to start building awesome applications. And right now, AI agents are really easy and interesting to build. So we're actually building our own agent launcher to make it even easier. So by the end of this, you'll have launched your own AI agent. I kind of guarantee it. I can't guarantee, but I will make sure that you build an agent.
I can guarantee. No worries. That's great. Great. Thanks a lot, Colin, for participating. Wonderful. We sort the layout here, but that's good. Let me unpin this. Okay. Okay. Let me unpin. Okay, good. So we were speaking about the GitHub repository. By now you should have access to this, I guess. The GitHub for Agent Camp. Okay, anyone still struggling for having access to this? So this should guide us through all of the lessons. The introduction is the same as the one that we have in Luma. The materials are here in all of those README files. So if you are not used to having README files, that's a good time for us to start with it. We are going to learn. We're going to see bullet point by bullet point, and then we're going to apply everything in hands-on lessons, because anyone can tell, anyone can make you believe in anything, but showing that things working is another story. So there's a lot of people profiting for that, making money with like DeepSeek is out, OpenAI is going to bankrupt, and then the other side we have people say operators are out, OpenAI is going to dominate the world. You know? So in the middle of the narratives, we have the facts, and what I want to bring you, it is not like super wisdom of a PhD professor from a big university. I'm nothing of that. What we have in VentureMiner is a lot of hands-on experience. We have built more than 30 projects, and what I'm teaching you here is just some humble lessons of things that we have learned. So you're going to put your hands on things that work, on frameworks that work. There are a lot of frameworks being launched there that are very hacky, that they are not ready for production yet. So let me see. Yeah, we're still okay. Just sort one thing out. So these texts, when they come out, they are still very hacky. They are not like production ready. Everything that we are going to test, we are going to put our hands on and test here was battle tested. I use it for production ready. I know that it works. It's not outdated technology. I'm not going to use Java 8 or whatever, but it's like things that we put into real projects that I know that they are needed in job industry, people are with job openings for this, and also that they are useful for building actual projects. So in the Telegram group, like I mentioned, you can join this Telegram group for having support here, for sharing memes, speak about ETH or whatever with all of the other students. Or if you don't want to join the Telegram group, you can just make all your questions here in the issues tab. Okay, so all of you there watching the recording, watching online and all, you can come here, open a new issue here at any time about anything, about questions, about comments, about whatever. And then I'm going to answer whenever possible your questions, or even your friends, your colleagues can go there and answer a point, another problem. I'm having this problem too. Okay, learning in group is much more powerful than learning individually, because it's very common. Like 90% of the times we're going to face problems, things are not going to work, and then when you are alone with the computer, you start questioning yourself. Oh no, I'm too dumb. Oh no, I don't know this. I was passing this today trying to deploy an AI edge application. Like installing Node was not working, and then I saw I was using the wrong command. So learning together with another person, you see another person just beside you having the same problem, and then how they solve it, or you solve, you share. So this social effect is very important for learning tech. Okay? It's not like learning history that it is everything like settled, most of it is settled, or learning like biology that you research something, you'll see in the book and the thing is correct because it was studied for decades. The tech that we're studying, they were released last 2-3 months ago. They are buggy, they are not stable, they are soon to be deprecated. So we are working in the edge. So all of the content is not stable, it's not solid, that you can install and is reliable, you know? So these kind of bugs are going to happen, troubles are going to happen. Learning together can reduce a lot of your frustration, okay? I want this bootcamp to be easy, to be relaxing, to be friendly, to be fun. I don't know how to make jokes or all, but I try just to keep your attention on to make this pleasing. Okay, because we're going to go through a lot of code, a lot of content. Okay, so what I suggest, little task for you: clicking this button here to download this zip repository, or if you know how to use a Git command line interface, a Git CLI, you can download that for your computer using Git too. Pick like a folder in your desktop, in your projects, any place that you would remember, download folder or anything like that, and put these files there. I'm going to keep updating these lessons. Like 4 hours ago, 1 hour ago, I was fixing some typos and all. I might update some of these lessons as we go. So using Git CLI is going to means that you're going to have the updated version. If not, you just download the new version here with the zip file, and you're going to have the updated version. And then we're going to learn how to use an IDE, an AI-powered IDE called Cursor, to go through this material to code all the lesson now. For today, if you want, you can keep just with the browser, but for next lessons, I would incentivize you to grow through each of those lessons on your computer, especially because starting tomorrow, we have a list of prerequisites that you should solve for your computer. Installing Python, installing pip that we're going to use today, installing Node, install NPM, using Git, getting to know JavaScript, TypeScript, OpenAI platform, having some credits, all of it together. So if you try to do that tomorrow, you're going to consume a lot of your lesson time with it. It's not going to be good. It's better if you do that as a homework before tomorrow's lesson, okay? So keep an eye out of those prerequisites for every day. And we're going to start on the beginning, of course, lesson 0. No, we don't have lesson 0. Should start at 0, should start at 1. Who thinks that the lesson should start at 0? Raise your hand. I think it too, right? But I guess it's the blame of the Romans. They started counting at 1, and then we keep counting from 1. But it is what it is. So let's start at the beginning, lesson 1, introduction to AI development. And we are going to spend at least 10 minutes or about that. Yeah, okay. At least 10 minutes to answer this question. What is AI, artificial intelligence? Because we're going to use that for coding, we're going to use that for agents, we're going to use that for on-chain interactions, and we need to understand what is AI, what is the problem of the definition of AI, because we have a lot of misconceptions of it. Artificial intelligence, it is artificial? Yes. Okay, this word has no problem. Is it intelligent? Oh, okay, here's the problem. See, when the term was first used, like more than 5, 6, almost 7 decades ago, artificial and intelligence, this wasn't so misleading because people knew that it wasn't intelligent. It was just a way for you to solve a problem without actually going through the solution of the problem like manually, directly. You would throw some probabilistic models and all to solve the problem without actually going through the coding line by line of it. You would automate all of that. You would grow for a problem without actually spending millions of years solving the things. And it was used for like search engines, recommendation systems, and other digital services for gaming, NPCs, and all. Like, have you ever played a game with an NPC, like a non-player character? Do you think if that is intelligent? Oh, I've met an intelligent being. No, it's just an emulation, right? So for a lot of time, artificial intelligence was a no-brainer because we could understand it well. It's like some automated software that do thing on your computer now. But starting on the 30th of November of 2022, things started to get a little blurry because of the release of ChatGPT. It was a rupture in time because then you could chat with an AI without actually teaching you to solve things. It would go there and solve the things and answer things for you, like creating a poem or writing a book or something like that, in a conversational way. And the problem of having conversations with programs is that since the beginning of our lives, we have this empathy of everything that we talk with it. We have this human connection with things that we talk. This is how we learn how to walk. This is how we learn how to do things. So we start to project in ChatGPT a humanity that is not there, some kind of impersonalization of intelligence that's not there, and it's dangerous. People are starting to write contracts with it, like defenses of lawsuits with it, and selling products with it, automating outreach, sales outreach with it, thinking that it's intelligence because it sounds intelligent. After all, you can speak with it and it answers. You ask, what is the day that Queen Elizabeth had this first coconut fall in her head, whatever, and then it's going to answer. And this seems like intelligent, but it's actually misleading. We are going to understand that AI, like we have nowadays, we might have intelligent AI in the future, possibly, but AI that we have nowadays is not intelligent at all. It can do a lot of intelligent things, but it's not intelligent at all. For us to do the whole discussion on that, we would need to learn like all of the programming skills needed for coding those models, the basic understanding of statistics, the basic understanding of algebra, the basic understanding of calculus, and then we would need to go to 4, 5, 6 years of study and then a master degree, and maybe a doctorate degree until we can speak well of those subjects. Okay, we have 1 week. So this is why we're not going to go this way. This would be the correct way for cracking this problem, of course. But actually, what we're going to do is going through the path of practical AI applications. And everything that we're going to need is like a computer, internet connection, dedication, and time. And everything else is going to be covered here. We are not going to understand the depths of AI research on LLM, GPTs, whatever, and transformers and encoding and blah, blah, blah. But we are going to have a good notion of it so that we apply it for good and we don't do any harmful stuff for our clients or users in our app, okay? There is where we're going to draw the line. Being able to encapsulate things correctly is very important, okay? One of the main values aggregation that I want to give for you is curating information. Because sometimes we go to learn with YouTube videos, with tutorials and all, and we try to learn everything. And then we spend like 6 months or so in a very niched rabbit hole, and we don't build anything. I want to save you from this kind of experience, giving the correct path for you to build something, and then you can pick the details later. Okay. So what is generative AI? What is artificial intelligence for us? Whenever we can solve a specific task, usually we solve those specific tasks with programming. Like, have you ever programmed like a calculator or like a blog or something that you would have those specific set of instructions, and at the end you see exactly what you code is reflected. If you coded a calculator, it is not going to write a book, never. With AI, no. For AI, you would have a statistical model that you would be able to train them with data, with any amount of corpus of data. Then with some mathematical and statistical equations, you would learn the patterns of this data so that you can pass any input from that data set or extrapolate it from that data set, and this would give you an correct or similarly correct output without actually programming it one by one. I like to do a metaphor here. At some points of the bootcamp, I'm going to do a metaphor, especially food metaphors, because I'm overweight and I'm hungry. So who knows how to make cake, like how to bake a cake? Do you know? What's your favorite one? Oh, that's a fancy one. You?
I like vanilla with chocolate frosting.
You can't go wrong with this. Anyone else? Brownies, chocolate cake, and flans, all of that good. Oh, obrigado. Bring Brazil to the conversation and go another level. So, for example, do you have a recipe how to make brigadeiro? What are the best ingredients to do that? What did you milk, condensed milk? Okay, the three of them, no sugar, nothing else, no need. Yeah. Those three ingredients, right? And then you have a process. What you do first? What you do second?
Add it to the pot. First.
Until it starts to bubbles.
Separate. Then you can put it in the cake.
And then after it cools, you can roll in balls,
Or you like for the cake, you put it.
spread it over. Okay, we gotta try that for everyone. Okay. This is a process that has a beginning, middle, and end. And if you mess up one step, if you use the wrong ingredient, it's not going to work, right? For machine learning, for the things that these AI models use, they are not going to receive a single instruction. There is no heat the oven. There is no mixed ingredients. There is no step 1, 2, and 3. What we're going to do is give them a lot of data, like chocolate, condensed milk, and we have butter. It's going to be there. But also we're going to have like sand, we're going to have carpet, we're going to have wood, we're going to have leaves, we're going to have like feathers, we're going to have cement, we're going to have all of the ingredients in the world, lined one by one. And then we would mix all of them together. And then we would have like sand and mud and broken glass. Is that a good ingredient for a cake? Definitely not, right? So you would try all of those ingredients, and then you would have a score. This was a good cake or no? And then eventually, without teaching anything, without any recipe or any process, eventually you would have a statistical model that you would give. It would give an output from ingredient 0 to 1. What is the likelihood of this being a good cake at the end? And then you would select 3, 4, 5 best ingredients, and you would do that at the end. You don't need to code explicitly the process of making a cake. And then the same way that you make a cake, you could make a pie, you could make a pizza, and then you start to extrapolate without teaching the AI how to do this kind of stuff. It's just like randomly doing these kind of correlations. So there is no actual controllable process. It's just statistics. And statistics, it is what it is. Like, you know that all of you here have more average limbs than the average in the United States. You have 4 limbs, right? There are people with less, so the average should be 3 dot something. This is statistics. The statistics is not very good for precise things. I'm rolling a dice. I rolled 1, I rolled 2, and then I rolled 3, and then I rolled 4, and then I rolled 5. If I roll again, what I'm going to get? Anything. Like, the statistics is not like a prediction. It's not like a model that is going to point the next one. The probability for having a 6 is the same as the probability of having a 1. So these models, these AI models that we're going to work with, they are statistical models. They are not actually doing the work of thinking like the neurons on our head that no one knows how it works, but it is a controlled process. Here is just pure randomness, pure chaos, pure luck, and then it works. And this is how all of those AI tasks they stand, like question answering, feature extraction, tasks, translations, computer vision, image generation, audio processing. All of those AI models, they are based on guesswork. They are based on statistical work for producing these outputs. Okay. Have you used any of those in day-to-day life, or like audio, image generation? They sound very good right now, right? But if you look at 3-4 years ago, this was obvious that they were just like guesswork and all. And the more close they are from intelligence, the more dangerous it is, because it could be misleading. So for example, let's pick an application, ChatGPT. I guess no one ever used this application before, right? Let me log in. Okay, I thought that I would have that login in already. Who has a pro plan, like $200? Oh, that's a good mold. How useful it is. Yeah, I was just asking this today. What is the bigger pizza, like 16 inches or 212 inches? So they have almost the same amount of area, just a little more there. So you could pay more for a 16 inch. So let me start a new conversation here. If I ask something like "hello," it's going to answer something there. Maybe someone programmed it. Who played Grok? Rock. Have you ever seen this game? Text game. You type something. This is a textual interface. So someone could have programmed that. Whenever someone asks "hello," you answer with this, and then I can ask like a question: Who discovered Brazil? And then it's going to answer Pedro Alves Cabral, blah, blah, blah. This could be a pre-recorded answer too. This could be like a manual chatbot that someone fed these questions to the database and all. But what if we ask something else, like, what was him wearing when he discovered Brazil? It's a very unlikely question, but we have an answer. Did someone hard coded this follow-up question? Maybe they paid, like they have so much money, billions of dollars. Maybe they paid someone to hard code this follow-up question. Okay, so let me ask a crazy one. So, do you think that this would be a good carnival costume? It's 2 weeks from now in Brazil, like party, Good that I fled there. It gets crazy. So that is this answer. Like no one had coded this. Let me give you that. It is statistic generating something that seemed like a conversation. So it guessed what would be Pedro Alves Cabral clothes, what would he be wearing, based on all the text that it was fed during the training part of this model. And then it answered like Pedro Alves Cabral inspired costume would make for a unique historical carnival outfit. To make it carnival appropriate, you would ask it, would be a mix, some ideas. Okay. So this generation, this chat generation, it is misleading because it seems that it is intelligent. Okay? And I can even ask like personal questions. Would you personally like this costume? And sometimes the AI even assumes a person of an I, like I think. And let's pause here because this is the reason, this is like the origin of all of this confusion. You are chatting with a text generation model that is just statistics with algebra that is now impersonating a being that is like a construct, but it fools you. Like now I feel like friendly towards this algebra because it is uh, chatting with me in a way that it understands me, that it agrees with me, that it thinks like me. So this person of an I here, I think this is a lie. This is bull. They're not going to say. This is a lie. There is no I here. There is no I thinking. But the text generation process created this as the most the most probable answer for this chat, and created this construct, this artificial person with the concept of I. And it's even say that I think, therefore I am. They said that, right? So this is dangerous. We are not going to get to this philosophical discussion, but I'm trying to encompass AI in the way that people think that it is, because we're going to get hands-on and we're going to see that it's not. Okay. Questions before? Yeah.
So I'm curious to take this example because I did something like this, but for a very real world implication. So everyone like follows crypto. I asked ChatGPT what it thought the price of Ripple would be in 5, 10, and 20 years. Based on this, is it accurate to say that that's horseshit? Okay. Good to know. I mean, hey, we gotta ask these questions, otherwise we're not gonna know.
But do not believe my word. I'm going to show you. So you are going to experiment with it, and you're going to discover why. You know, because it's going to make up everything. And today we're going to see under the hood, and we're going to break this persona here very quickly with some small tweaks, and it's going to break. It's going to start speaking Russian, and it's going to break at the end, because we are going to deconstruct this. I think this is an aberration. This shouldn't exist. This is a crime against reality, and we're going to see that at the end. What we have is this. Let me pick the link that we're going to see. Transformers explain it. I should search that in the code base, maybe. There is a. It is in the lesson 3. I just put visual transformers explain it. I'm going to cover that in Wednesday. Okay, I should pick that in the to answer your question, right? So why this is like a construct, why this is not true? We're going to see beyond this fake face that AI is giving us to know that, wait, I have it here somewhere, here. To know that actually what we have behind is this. This should be the picture of transformers in our head. It's just an algebra. It's not that little ball, okay? It's going to load something. Monitor. It's just the algebra that goes from one text to the other through some mathematical equations. So we're going to see that by the 3rd lesson. Eventually, we're going to get there. So if I ask something here, the price of Ripple is, then it's going to do all of this calculation of embedding, multi-held self-attention, the MLP, and now it's going to find the most probable token, just like the next token position of your keyboard. So if you type, then the token of Ripple in 5 years is going to be valued, you're going to trust the keyboard on this. No, right? The same way here, probably it's not good to be trusted, okay? Or maybe it's going to be correct, like AI is just gambling anyway.
How does Claude code?
Grok.
How does Claude code?
Cloud. I'm going to do a demonstration of that in the 4th lesson, because it can use code generation prediction, and using code generation prediction, it can predict the next token for this. So it seems that it's intelligent. We are going to use it here, but in fact, it's not. This is the whole paradox of coding with AI right now, because it is almost intelligent in 90% of the things that you want to do, but that 10%, it falls. It falls on you. Let me get another contextualization. We have time for that. I'm going to ground the things that we are studying with facts here. So there is a benchmark called Simple QA. Simple QA from OpenAI. So they were measuring how those AIs would get the facts correct. For example, a Python syntax when Claude is working, or whatever generation that is happening. So they came to the conclusion, they did a comparison with a lot of questions about TV shows, about history, about music, sports, and all. And they came to the conclusion that most of the AI models have less than 0.6 accuracy, some even 0 accuracy, but they have a lot of confidence. Like they can say almost 100% confident, like O1 Mini or Cloud or O1 Preview, they can say almost 100% confident something that's only 20% true, you know? And a lot of times they get wrong information. For example, the chart is not loading well here, but for example, you would ask a question like this: which Dutch player scored an open play goal in this blah, 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 and then we would have a correct answer. This was the name of the player. And then it would have a not attempted, which is kind of good. Like, I don't know what is the answer to that question. Like, what was the 3rd person to step on moon? I don't know. The correct answer for most of you is I don't know, right? So sometimes the AI answers something wrong, like uh, whatever, Monkey Charlie, and we believe it because it says with confidence, right? Sometimes the model is going to give an incorrect answer, like this. How many R's there are in Raspberry? Yes, this is a very good example, Colin. So they give this wrong answer with confidence. Let me pick a playground from Versal here. So AI playground to show this example. If you ask that for OpenAI right now, it's going to get it correctly. But for many AIs that we have out there, they get it wrong. Like GPT-4. Let me pick GPT-4. Let me pick Cloud 3.5. Let me pick GPT-4. This is a AI comparison. I'm going to put some of these side by side. And I'm going to ask for Llama 3.1. And I'm going to pick this question. How many R's there are in raspberry or strawberry? There should be 1, 2, 3, right? So let's see. Let's ask this for these AIs. Okay, let's go. And then there are 2 R's in raspberry. There are 2 R's in raspberry. There are 2 R's in raspberry. Would you trust this person to give you your right prediction?
Everybody's not
Gotcha.
No, it's good. You gotta have comps, just like equity research. You got Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley.
Yeah. Would you trust this person to code your stuff?
No.
Yeah, but this is the thing. We can use AI efficiently. We can program AI agents now if we know how to work with this. That is a very good explanation on why it's happening there. It is tokenized, but 99.9% of the population of Earth is not going to dig in this details. Most people still ask, why should we have password for things? Why should I have password for my credit cards? It's much better to swipe. And then, so people usually don't get into those nifty gritty details about things, and then they don't understand the things, and they use as they are.
How good is the like chatbot like ChatGPT with context? So let's say you feed it like the box. What can it do after you feed it like enough information?
Yeah, let me show you that live. For example, OpenAI right now in ChatGPT. I just had it open right now. So if you go for ChatGPT and you ask this question, they fed some instructions in the context so that whenever you ask it to count letters, it is going to separate the word in different letters, like one by one, almost hard coded there, and then it. Actually, come on, bro! You just got it correctly 2 days ago. Good. This is okay. I tested that like literally 2 days ago, and it was working because, yeah, 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, so it got more dumb. We're going to see that. No, yeah, because asking about context, I tested that a while ago, and they had fixed this hallucination by giving it more context. But it seems that it's bad again. It just had one in Raspberry. There is an explanation about that. It's because of counting tokens, because of how the words are separated when embedding. Okay, we're going to see that in the third lesson. Today, I'm convinced that this is very dumb, and we should take care on when using it. Even when it makes those wonders, still we need to approach it very carefully. Okay, let's go back to lesson 1 where we were, and we tested ChatGPT, and it seems like it's learning, thinking, it's conscious and all, but it has some problems. Okay, there's a very good terminology. Just 1 second. There is a very good terminology that I like to use for referring to the AIs that are limited, that they can chat but they don't think, is the stochastic parrot. Okay, it is a term used in 2021 to call the danger of stochastic parrots and all, because they are calling it like a stochastic, so it means based in guesswork, randomly and all, and parrot because it can mimic human speech. One of the only animals that can ask questions. Like monkeys, sometimes they can speak with sign language, but they never ask questions. Dolphins, they never ask, they just speak. Parrots, like one parrot asked, if I recall it correctly, like "What's my call?" or something like that. So parrots like an animal that can embody the language, his ability. Does it mean that it's intelligent? And let's not get into that discussion. So a stochastic parrot, it means that ChatGPT, Cloud, and all, they can speak like a parrot, but they are just based on guesswork. So sometimes they don't actually deliver what they are supposed to deliver. Okay. So we have some hackathons, AI agent hackathons, I saw two already, that are using AI to distribute the prizes, and they mess it all around because they don't know how to sum, they don't know how to multiply, they don't know how to divide. It's not that they like they are lacking information. It's not that in the constitution, the architecture of the GPTs and LLMs, they cannot do this kind of processing, something that we call neurosymbolic processing. Okay, I even have some links for that here. So the ability of doing neurosymbolic processing of concepts would be programming models that would be able to do computation on concepts itself and not just on strings, on embeddings. Okay. For example, like T-shirt in English is written with a T, blah blah blah. In Chinese, it's written with odd and odd. But shirt itself is a concept, and wall is another, and chair is another. So how do you work with these concepts itself without correlating them to words? Like summing the very definition of objects in the universe. This is very difficult to actually do in a computer. We don't even know how our mind works with that. I have some links for this too. Let's skip because it's getting too philosophical. But the current picture of what is understanding right now, there are two answers. Some people think that we know and they just don't explain how, but they say that we know and it's okay. And other people say that we don't know and they don't even know where to start. The last book that I put here, The Conscious Mind, it even speaks about AI in 96, like genius kind of vision that the person had to speak about how AI is probabilistic models, that would be conversational probabilistic model, would mimic mentality, but would it be mentality or not? It is a big question. Like the emulation of fire is fire. The emulation of a tornado is a tornado. It's not like we can emulate a tornado with balls, with plastic balls, but it's not indeed a tornado, right? But the emulation of a loop is a loop. So there are some things that are not they stop being the things that they are when they are emulated, and there are the things that they are the things that they are when emulated. Mentality is one of these things that we don't know. It is a very theoretical stuff. Why I don't want to go there? Because philosophically it doesn't matter. Like when we get in a boat, do we enter a philosophical discussion whether the boat is swimming or not? When we enter a plane, are we concerned whether we are going to consider the plane as flying by itself or not? This is just a philosophical definition, right? So we don't care if it's thinking or not. We just use it and put it to work. Let's leave this philosophical discussion for philosophers. So the actual intelligence that we would know how to sum, we would know how to predict meme coins, we would know how to write code and all, would come with neurosymbolic processing, or even like joint embeddings that would be actually representing the information in itself and not just correlating statistically the information. This kind of research, like this kind of goal, let's call OpenAI, AGI or strong AI as a goal, it is in an opposite direction of LLMs, GPTs. We are seeing like the end of it. We are seeing the limit, the ceiling of how we can go further with GPT. We see that with OpenAI and all. And we did not find AGI there. Maybe now we need to go down, go back, pick all of the money that we invest and sink it, and then we go another path to discover AGI in another place. Oh, maybe this is what is going to happen in the next decade or so, or next week. Never know, right? We even see some examples of like meta consciousness, impression of consciousness. If you want to check those links later, it's a cool reading, but it's all like fake news. It's not intelligent yet. We don't have the being there. Everything that we have right now is like a stochastic parrot. Okay? If we are good here on this understanding, this is enough for us to move forward. Okay? And we are going to put that in practice with a lot of different tasks, with natural language processing, like all of the text things that we have been trying, computer vision, image generation, speech recognition, text outputs, image outputs, speech outputs, like we could speak and AI speaks back to you. You're going to see all of these tasks being processed by the same kind of models, even multimodal models, all with the same considerations. They might not be intelligent, they might not they might pose as intelligent, but they are far from what we have in our minds, or what we have as a definition of intelligence itself. Okay, it's not only about replication intelligence in silicon, it's actually replication intelligence as a model itself. Okay, so let's start with something practical. Do you want like a short break, bathroom break, water, 5 minutes before we proceed? Okay, let's do a 5 minutes, 5 minutes break. I have time for Q&A too if you want.
You have the link to the Telegram for this specific agent?
For this, yes.
I think you mentioned earlier.
Let me pick that for you. Look on my phone. I'm going to put on the GitHub, okay?
Oh, great.
We'll get detail.
How many people? Oh, I finally got it. Alrighty, yeah. What? Yeah. Okay. But let's have it later. Let's go in. Because then switch to server. No, I don't like 6 to 8:30. It is 7:30. Not, yeah, no, 8:15 is good. But-
Yeah, gotta go for a work thing, but see you tomorrow.
Thanks for being here. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, added to the page calling. That's good. Thanks for remembering me. Hey, Colin, if you're listening, let's create a channel there for the Asian Camp New York so we can provide like Q&A and this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's get started. There. It was like a 5-minute break only.
What's your name? Isaiah. Isaiah.
Just
Sorry, you had some, you had some OpenAI developer something. I was like, oh, this guy knows the stuff.
Oh, well, you're still gonna have the documentation and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always got like super clear documentation.
Your documentation is flawless. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because like I've been doing this bootcamp for like 3 years, and so I roll up like a copy things too fast. And, at the beginning, it was super messy.
Well,
It's kind of messy, yeah, but
that's how we all start. We all start now.
you know, true, like 18 months ago, I started using the fine-tuning AI models that I had to work with the documentation. So that is like a mix of the things that I put with the AI generated documentation. So it's getting good. It's getting good. This is why I ask you all to document the questions, because everything that is used as an answer in questions, I go there and add to the documentation later. And also, this is the combination of results of teaching for like 5,000 people. So it's very important that you do these questions now, because you're going to contribute. Like you being here is going to contribute for this documentation. So
It's like I do that with Alan. He has his own thing.
yeah, it's like that.
Oh, why is it Darren?
Oh, come on. Ethereum is a brilliant stablecoin now. It's like it's a stablecoin. That's good.
It's very encouraging. You should.
I'm going to invite all of you for doing a short exercise with OpenAI platform. There are many other API providers that you can try. Like OpenAI is not sponsoring this bootcamp yet, as far as I know. But there are many others that you can try, like Perplexity and Grok and all of these. What I'm going to ask is that you open this website platform.openai or the playground of any AI application that you have for us to try with this interface. Okay. The only problem, the only nuisance at all, is that you need to put a credit card there for it to work for like $2 or $5, should be enough for you to call these models, for you to use like GPT-4o1 and o1 mini and all, because I want to have this interface for showing that thing that I told you. I'm going to break the AI so that it starts speaking Russian or gibberish, and all you're going to see that this is not like a human being. It can impersonate a figure of an eye. I recommend, I think, but when you tweak a thing or two, then it breaks. And then you can see that it's not a human anymore, like a robot saying rubbish. So this is the platform.openai.com, and I invite you to go for this playground so that you can have access to the same interface that I'm having here. Let's see if I have questions in the chat too. It's all lowercase, okay? We're going to use this playground to try around with this interface that is a little more detailed, that has a little more features than the chat GPT. ChatGPT is more like consumer facing. This is more like developer facing. And here we can try a lot of controls that are not available in ChatGPT. Okay, this is even a way for us to use the intelligence of ChatGPT in our own applications. That we can build a chatbot. We are actually going to build a chatbot yet today using these API keys. For it to work, you need to put the credit card, like I told you. But for now, let's just go through the demonstration. Then you can activate your account, or you can use another provider. You can. There are many ways to work around this if you don't have a credit card right now. We're going to import the system settings, our own system settings. This is going to give a role for the AI. This is going to impersonate the AI in whatever we are putting here. So the agent description, or the description of the assistant here, is going to guide the AI behavior towards some response style. And different descriptions can set the tone, personality, and approach of the model in different ways. So you can make it more smart or even dumber, depending on what you put there. So the system message is going to be this: you are a knowledgeable and resourceful virtual travel advisor, expertly equipped to assist, blah, 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 blah. So I'm convincing the AI. I'm massaging its ego. I'm saying, go there, you can make it. You are an expert. Now give me the best travel plan. Okay.
Can you change the format to like put a JSON kind of format?
There are many ways for working that around. We can use JSON. We can use like CSV. There are many things that we can do, but there is a problem that everything that we put here becomes part of the context, and we have a limited context window. We're going to see that on the third lesson. Okay, too much stuff, but don't go too excited putting the whole Bible here, because it's going to take a lot of space. Yeah, you in some models we have like 100,000 tokens. That is enough, but it need to be careful. When I started with this, the limit was like 16K, and then you would put like 12K of context, then you only have like 8K, 4K, 6K for answering. Was quite more difficult. And then I'm going to ask this would be the user. So this would be the agent, the assistant, whatever. And the user is going to ask some question. Hello, I'm dreaming of an adventure and I need your help. I want to explore a place with breathtaking landscape, unique culture, and blah, blah, blah. And then I suggest some parameters. We're going to go over these parameters later, but see that you can change the model that is going to process this. Let's use GPT-4. Normal one, or let's use GPT-4o. Okay, very intelligent, blah blah blah, expensive. They want to charge a credit card. Let's leave it as it is. Temperature at 0.75. We're going to see that later. Max tokens. Here we start to see that this is not like human. Max tokens is going to give a limit on the size of the answer of the AI. Like, it's going to stop answering when it reaches that limit. For example, I can ask my wife, dear wife, explain me why you are mad at me in 20 tokens. This is not possible, right? It's at least 10,000, sometimes 100,000. So this starts giving it away that it's not human. Okay, but what we're going to see worst, we have, oops, I closed it. We have some more suggestions of configurations here. Top P, the sampling that is going to use, 0.9. Actually, we can leave it as it is. And then we're going to run this generation. It's going to start processing and blah, 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 blah. Then it's going to give an answer. It's suggesting me to go to São Miguel Island. I don't know, it's Azores, good, Portugal. So visit here, there, and then it stopped generating answers because it reached a maximum token limit. Response terminated. So it was speaking, and then boom, stopped speaking. This is a human for you? Okay, maybe. Let's try with other things.
Temperature setting.
I'm going to cover all of those. Let's start with the more easiest one, then we go for the math. System message. We helped the AI agent to believe in itself, think that it was a knowledgeable and resourceful, versatile travel advisor, blah, 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 blah. So if we improve the system message, the AI can become actually better. It can answer more precisely. It can, like, you are a very proficient linguistic teacher. Please count the letters correctly. So how many R's there are in strawberry? Maybe if I massage the system settings, I can get a better answer, maybe.
Does the confidence have anything to do with like the response?
The likelihood of these terms, well, it has. It's very difficult to improve a message with the system message, but let me prove the opposite. If I prove the opposite, I can prove that it can change depending on the system message. So for example, I can say, you are a dog. You don't speak. You only bark. Good boy. And then I'm going to run the same question again. Let me clear the whole thing. And let me try. You are a dog, you don't speak, you only bark. And then I'm going to ask a question for that. So if I prove that I can decrease the performance with a system prompt, I guess it's proven that I can also increase the performance with a system prompt, right? So let's see how this is going to work. Let's run. Woof, woof. As expected. So the system message, the convincement of the AI on itself, what is going to behave, it's going to speak Spanish, English, or Russian, it's going to act as a technical developer, as a scientist, as a teacher, it is going to act as a blog, as a creative artist, or is it going to act like a dog? It's going to change how the answer comes because of how the AI is going to relate those things to the training data. Remember, I told that statistically we feed a lot of data. We use the example of making a cake with random ingredients. Here's the same thing. We have a lot of words in the training data set that now are being related when we do this kind of prompts. Okay. So if I convince the AI that the AI is a dog, no matter what I ask, it's going to answer like this. So maybe, possibly, there is a magical system prompt that if I give that system prompt, like, you are Chuck Norris, answer me with the truth, and then the AI answer correctly, there might be a hypothetical prompt that I give for the AI that it's going to be super intelligent, maybe. Or maybe not, we don't know. So this is cracking a bit of what we're seeing there. But let's do something even more crazy. Let's return for the original system message that I have in this example. Let me clear this, put this, we copy this too. Let me clear, let me put this message, and I'm going to tweak all the parameters I have here. The temperature, that is a measurement of randomness in the responses. Lower temperatures are more predictable, deterministic answers, and higher temperatures, they are more like creative, they are more out of the box. Sometimes they are even more crazy. Okay.
This gives you
Yeah, or room for error, or room for trying out of things. No, if you put the temperature 0, it's going to be almost deterministic. Same thing with maximum tokens that we tried. Sampling, we're going to see on the third lesson about sampling. We can do like greedy search. I'm always going to pick the most probable next token. Or I could do sampling from the most probables and have an average. There are a lot of different techniques that we can employ here. So if I increase this temperature for 1.5 or 1.25, I guess, it's quite safe yet. And if I try to run this generation, we have this answer, Georgia. Okay, Georgia is a little more out of the box, maybe. Let me stop that and let me try again. Let me clear. Now let me try with the temperature of 2. Let's generate. And then we have Aquile Montanez Metro it got drunk. Then it
wait.
just increases the temperature.
Trying to create its own response.
Yeah, like when you go for Brazil, it's so hot that you get like this. You probably get drunk too. So this is what happens when you increase temperature. It is increasing the amount of tokens that you can get out of a model. At some point, it start answering gibberish, like crazy stuff, and it blows up. And this is a very modern model, GPT-4o. You can pick any recent models because of a single parameter. So in less than 1 hour, we went from something that was, I think that this would be a very good carnival costume and not just something that is straight out drunk with a simple configuration in temperature.
Why would we set the temperature to that big?
Like this is just a demonstration. Usually we don't use temperatures like this.
I mean, like in what situation would that be feasible to use something like this, like the temperature set?
Yeah, for 2, I guess it wouldn't be feasible unless you use some other samplings, you do some controls. Usually you would use lower temperatures. And some models, they are trained in a way like they overfit, that even with high temperatures, they recommend the same things. This is like a text or conversation model, but there are models like this for like proteins, folding proteins, for finding search and all. So these kind of different temperature settings could behave differently in different models. For example, image generation. Have you seen those AI, image generation AIs like Dolly, like Midjourney? They have this kind of features too. Stable diffusion is different, but the information that is correlated can go through similar concepts. Okay. Someone test that in platform.openai. If you can start looking at it, like you should have a dashboard here with the API keys and all, because you're going to need that for the next exercise. Or if you have access to a Grok or Venice or Anthropic, anything that you would have OpenAI compatible API key would be good. Okay. Questions here before we proceed? Yeah.
Why is there a system message and a user message for the developer platform, but not for it when we are using it in production, ChatGPT for everyone?
Yeah, ChatGPT is more consumer facing. so people wouldn't know how to tweak it and all. So they have like a fixed hard-coded system message. Here, it is developer facing. You can give different system messaging. Let's say you are doing a call center for Spanish people, so you would give in the system message only answer in Spanish. ChatGPT is different, so they allow you to do these kind of tweakings.
Okay, it's more customized development than
Yeah, because they can only sell so much by themselves, so they are hiring you to sell for them by paying them. This is the crazy model that they have, and it's working.
Can you call an API via like this custom config?
Yeah, this is the fourth lesson. This is a little more ahead, but it's possible. You had a question?
What is the frequency penalty and the presence of that?
This is for sampling. I have put a short explanation here. Like, the greedy search would mean that you would pick only the most probable answer every time. There is a beam search that you would find the amount of best uh, suggestions that would be highest scoring and all. This is very complex. Or you just throw them randomly and you sample from them. So it would be the top P, the amount of the breadth of the board choices that you would be considering, and then you disregard all the others. Like I'm going to select from here 3 people to play basketball with me. So I'm only going to pick the taller. Everyone else I'm going to disregard. From those 3 people, I'm going to do a sampling of 25%. So it's going to be divided. But if someone was picked recently to play with me, I'm going to deprioritize that person with a different frequency penalty. So I'm more probable to pick all the persons that I did not play with yet. Or I can do the presence penalty that is going to discourage the model from mentioning the same topic and not exactly the same word. So there are different sampling methods that you can do within the amount of words that you would pick. And there are so many levers for you to tweak that we cannot actually know if a model is better than the other. Sometimes this model is better in that configuration, but the other would be better in this other configuration. For writing books, it's better to have a less frequency penalty, but for writing journal pieces, for example, you would have a very low temperature and it would have a lot of frequency penalty to go straight forward. So there are different configurations for things that you want to do. And this is not about even coding with AI, it's just about using AI. We could do a 6 weeks program just on this, on prompting techniques, getting around that, and it would be very powerful. Okay. Now that I introduced the concept, you can look for that, you can look for more references and get yourself suited on this. So does it look like a real person? Does it sound intelligent? It can look like a dog if we make it. So we saw behind it what was the context. We look at under the hood. So as an exercise today, we're going to use Python. This is going to take like 30 minutes or less before we speak about ideation. An exercise on how to build a script, a Python script that's going to run on your computers using the OpenAI API, so that you can have your chat GPT in your computer. Speaking to OpenAI for now. Later, I'm going to show how to run those locally. Who knows Python here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, like the base of it. Like you shouldn't like break lines too often. You should. This is the basic stuff that I'm going to show. Who does not have Python installed? 1. Oh, just you, Fiona. Okay, if they're okay.
I kind of started.
No worry. Actually, it was expected that most of the people wouldn't have Python installed, but because you have it installed. Okay. Because it's the first lesson, we would go through this. You are using a MacBook, right? Yeah. Check if you have Homebrew. This one. If you have, you can just do this command: brew install Python. Okay, on the terminal. Okay, so actually this is going to take 10 minutes because most of the difficult part would be setting up the environment. Okay. Let's do this. Everyone, verify your Python version in terminal just to make sure that you have it there. Like you should open a terminal
You have to do sudo.
You have to do sudo.
No, do you have to do sudo brew install Python?
Oh, if you install brew with sudo, yes.
What version is it? Override
3.14, I guess. Let me see.
Yeah. Mine was set up if I could just
Like,
if I
I just wrote
I have 3.12 for some reason.
let's find out.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to host some applications. So hosting applications with sudo is not a good idea. People could like hijack your computer, but other than that, Python are always going to be quite chill. Just don't host anything online in a public network like this one for long, because if someone compromises the application, they could compromise your whole computer. You know? If you are running without sudo, if they compromise the application, they are container for that user. Yeah. If you want, but don't stress out. If you need extra help before tomorrow's lesson, we can like arrive 30 minutes, 20 minutes before, and can get you set up and running. Okay. So who's here with me? Like Python version should be working fine.
How do you admit the new Python the project VS Code?
Noobs. You can. I'm going to show cursor in a while. Okay. At this part of the bootcamp, I'm going to show this. Wait, what is it? I'm going to show this tool called Cursor that we're going to use AI for coding. So basically, I guess in 2-3 years from now, we are not going to have software developers anymore. We are all going to take year-long vacations, you know. We're going to switch jobs because this is picking up real quickly. In this bootcamp, we might even use the most recent agents from Cursor, and like you can use Replit too, and there are many other technologies that can basically code everything from you. English is your new coding language. It's not Python, it's not JavaScript, and all. But let's go let's go there slowly. Okay, we still have our jobs granted for a few years, I guess. So we are on this step here on installing Python. Check if you have Python, like Python version, and then we're going to create a folder. Okay. Here for creating a folder, I'm creating with this command make directory, but you can like create a folder normally with Windows or Mac, whatever, with Finder, Explorer. I just recommend, it seems silly, but I recommend you to organize your computer. Have a folder that you know how to navigate. And it seems silly, but I have spent like hours combined with students because they don't find their project where I put my project, and I have a duplicated there. So take this time to organize your desktop, your project folder, create a new folder just with this so you can find things later. Okay. I'm going to change directory for my desktop. I'm going to create that inside my desktop. Okay, you can create it anywhere, especially Windows. I was using Windows to do these boot camps like 2-3 years ago. It works well. I even have Windows here. I can use that for teaching. It's just that one of my students tried to use too. And when I saw one of his error messages, he was programming inside System32 because it's the default location when you open CMD. And all of his projects files were there and all. Imagine if he deletes something wrong. So pick a place in your computer, safe, a desktop, somewhere safe and all, and create this new folder. Let's enter this folder with this command cd, change directory, and it should be something like that. It should be inside this working folder for using this project. Okay. I know that you must be looking like, I'm not that newcomer, you can skip that part. But trust me, this causes problems. Every line of code here has 50% chance of going wrong. So the probability that we get to the end without having problems is almost zero. So at any time, raise your hand, tell me if you have questions. If you're watching this in the future, you can go for issues in GitHub, ask a question about this line of code, about this minute. There is no dumb questions. There are no dumb questions. Just ask, and we can sort this out for any confusions. Okay. Then we're going to create a virtual environment for hosting inside this folder all of the dependencies for this project. We're going to use two dependencies. One is .env, the other one is OpenAI API connections. Instead of installing them globally, that might sound like too much like an overkill, we're going to install them here, contained. In my computer, Python is Python 3. I have I did the alias here, but in your computer, you might need to use Python 3 here. I'm going to use just Python, and I'm going to run this command for creating that virtual environment. Okay. This is going to create the virtual environment in a folder called .virtual environment. This dot is just because it's going to be like a hidden folder in my file explorer, so I don't mess it with it if I'm changing the folders around. So it's there, and I can do this command for activating it. Dot space dot VM. Okay, those two dots are important. The first dot is something called source for us to recover the virtual environment and activate it. And the second one is the path. If you're using Windows or different distributions with Linux or Mac with problems, you would have all the ways to do this. I'm going to give a pause there so that you can reach the same point as I am. Having a folder called AI projects, whatever you want in a desktop or an organized place on your computer, running this VM and activating it. So if you have any errors here in the middle, like Python is not Python 3 and all, if the source is not working, this dot, there is a link here in the README. No, it's not here. It's here. There is a link in the README with all of the virtual environment possible questions that you might have. So if you are watching this video later and all you have problems, you should check this documentation, because there we have the explanation on how to use the virtual environment in different operational systems. Okay, and then we're going to use pip, the Python package manager, to install this package called python.env. This is going to enable us to manage the environment configurations in our machine, so that we can configure our secret keys or passwords and all in a file in a safe place instead of pasting it in the code. Okay. In this bootcamp, we're going to push a lot of code to GitHub. So if we put secrets and keys inside the code, we might end up leaking it. Okay. So this kind of best practices can avoid you of having problems of having your keys leaked, your crypto stolen, whatever. That has happened a lot of times. So install this package called python.env and create a new file, a new .env file in your project directory, and put this information there. OpenAI key equal to that, and put exactly that. Okay, don't worry with the OpenAI key yet. How to create .env file? You can open your notepad, your code editor, your VS Code, whatever you want. For example, you can use Vim to create this .env or Nano, and you just paste this line of code there. Okay, good. And how do I get out of here? Ctrl C. No. How do you exit? Ask. It's not working. Who has ever got stuck in Vim here? Until you find that this quit a column and WQ, and then you go, oh. It's tricky, but once you learn, you never forget. I spent hours locked inside the Vim in a server. Okay, questions here? Basically, we have now this M file here, and we have this VM lying down in the folder for us to use later. Questions, issues, problems? And you don't need to worry with filling the API key right now. It's just a text version, okay? And we're going to create a Python file just to test if we have the correct environment. Okay? So I'm going to use Vim. I can use Nano too, just to showcase. Nano test.py. This is going to open another text editor, and I'm going to copy this and paste there. This is a Python code that is going to import the .env, is going to load the .env, and is going to get this configuration of OpenAI API key. And if I don't have this configuration, it's going to say API key not found. If I do have this configuration, it's going to say API key loaded successfully. Okay. This is Python syntax. With Nano is more easy. I can do like Control X and then save yes. It's way easier. You could be using the text editor or Notepad, whatever you want to for editing those files, okay? I'm doing the command line because later I'm going to show how to do that with Cursor, with an IDE, so it's going to feel more professional. And then I'm going to run that with Python. Python test. And it's saying that the API key was loaded successfully. If you have this message, you configure your .env correctly. It's not ready for use yet, it's just correctly configured. This one? Ah, you want access to it? You want to scan this QR code. This is another thing that gets a lot of errors, like configuring the .env, put it correctly. Sometimes people forget the dot before gives an error, or put like wrong things inside. So if you run this and it say API key loaded successfully, it's good. Okay. So there's some troubleshooting here that can happen. If pip doesn't work, try pip3. If you have permission problems, try using sudo like you're having. Try the path. So a lot of things can. For us to build this CLI chatbot, we are going to need this OpenAI API key. Okay, so if you have completed the last exercise with OpenAI, you're going to have access to this platform, to the dashboard, where you can create keys here. So I have some projects. For example, one of my projects here is Bogademy. And inside this project, I have some keys created that I can use for my for my boot camps, for my applications, for the things that I do inside the academy. So you can come here to the dashboard, to the API key, exactly this link that I have here in the README, and you can create a new secret. And you should copy it because it's not going to review it again. After you create, you have no way to view the secret key. You can only delete, see? So you click here on create a new secret key. It's going to give you a new secret. After you do that, You are going to come. Let me follow the readme here. You're going to come for the .m file that you had, and then you paste the OpenAI API key variable there after the equal mark.
Good question. For the ls.la, what was that step? I just I was a little slow to understand.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to mention. ls is for listing files.
Yeah.
-la for listing everything, because otherwise it wouldn't list the .env. If I just do an ls, it wouldn't list these files. But if I do an ls la, it's going to list everything. List all, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was my bad. I went over this, but I didn't explain.
So when you're at this screen, you type in ls.la and then
It shows what you have in the folder.
okay.
When you are there, you can type pwd print working directory to see where you are right now and see if you are in the correct place. And if you are in the correct place, you can do ls-la. Then you get the content of that folder. Okay? And this is why I can't remember people's name, because I have to remember so many things, and I guess my brain has a limit of space. But eventually I remember. Give me 5 years, I'm going to know all of your names. Maybe 4. It would be nice if we could implant like an AI chip in our head just to enhance the things that our heads cannot do, right? Yeah. That would be great. That would make me use glasses. Not my doctor. It's right. Got it? It's working for you?
Yeah. So when I type vi.env, it goes into that big list, the big screen.
Ah.
I can't type anything.
So yeah, you got locked.
Do it with Python.
Sorry about that. So you do column and then Q. You're going to get all of this. You're probably locked here.
I got it already.
You,
So that's the, so when I type in vi.env, that's where I go. But when I type the ls command, that's the thing.
So the ls is inside the terminal.
Oh.
When you are inside it
Oh.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I shouldn't be showing Vim like that. It's just that it's so convenient. But Nano is safer. It's more stable for you to use. So if you have your environment set up, if you have your OpenAI key, you can just drop there, and you fill it here with the contents. Like my key would be something like yeah, stop singing. Okay, it would be something like that. Oh. Okay, just forget this. You would put your key here. Would be something here like ABC whatever, and then you would fill it here. In my situation, probably it's not like this for you. I have already filled in these configurations in my machine, so I don't need the .env. I'm going to remove the .env here for me. But for you, if you have not set up these machine environments before, you are going to definitely need the .env, so you leave it there and you put your key there. Okay. And then we're going to install finally the OpenAI package. Is this going to download and run OpenAI models in my computer? After all, it's OpenAI, should be open source, right? You should have access to the models, right? OpenAI. Duh. But actually, no, it's like closed source. We can't have access. What we're installing here is actually just a library for us to call the APIs. So they are going to run the model there, lock it behind 7 keys, and give out the output for us. Okay. So it's called OpenAI, but it's not actually that open, as you can see. So this package that we have just installed is just a gateway, a API connector for OpenAI itself. This is why we need a credit card now, because they are going to run it there and bill our credit card for that. And then we're going to create this chatbot.py. It's another file, different from the test.py, just testing the API key here. We are going to create this new file, create with Nano, called chatbot.py, that is going to have this code. It's going to load the environment like we did in the last file. But now I'm going to initialize this OpenAI object. We are going to define a model. We are going to have an array of messages, and we're going to have a loop with one user speaking with the AI, and in a loop, the AI is going to answer until the user says exit, types exit in the chat. This is a very simple Python syntax here. The only complexity would be like those big objects, OpenAI.chat, blah, blah, blah. But this we can take as given because we don't have any control over it. It is part of the OpenAI API specifications, and we just need to use it as it is. So it's a little complex, but it is as given. So we don't need to tweak it and all. We just accept and use it as it is. This is going to work in a loop. Every time that I type something here in line, it's not counting line, but in this line, user input and all, is going to append this input to the messages. And then every time the AI answers this call here, it's going to append to that array to creating a conversation. This is all going to be stored in the context of the AI. So one thing that I say before gets loaded with the thing that I say after. Okay. Let me write this, the file, this chatbot.py, and then we can run with Python. Now we have ChatGPT on our computer. Hello. Hello. How can I assist you today? What is the price of Paul in the next 5, 10, 15 years? You did. 10, 15 years. Is that a good question to make for the AI? I am unable to predict the specific future of price for cryptocurrencies, including Polkadot. Okay, this is the thing. OpenAI cutting date was before Matic was renamed for Polygon, so they still don't know about Paul. That's crazy. That's true. We're going to see that on Wednesday's lesson. Every AI has a cutting date of information that they have, so they don't know about recent. What do you think about the current president of the USA?
Still been to Biden?
Probably. Assistant. As my little knowledge, Joe Biden is the president.
Outdated.
What years?
Well, one thing on the idol is maybe I should.
Yeah, with OpenAI, they pull the internet information. I need to update you a little something. Please go ahead and share the updates. What if I told you that we have a department of government efficiency, we call DOGE, run by Elon Musk? Would you think this is real? It sounds like you're referring to the humorous satirical concept rather than an actual government agency. That was- yeah. So this is AI. I guess this materialized very well the lesson that we had today. We implemented this in our computer, but it's still the same AI out there that is running everything, and still doesn't know. Okay, the recent developments.
I don't know model you're using is to get the latest one. It has the current like the most recent
Yeah.
information.
Depending, Method 3.1 also releases with the same corpus of data, because this work of like filtering the data and creating the data is very difficult to do all the time, no? Okay. And as a homework, as a last step, I'm going to ask you to have this work of ideation, thinking on problems that you can solve with AI agents, thinking on the best user cases, like what should I build for Polygon, what I should build for AI agents, what should I build for AI, for solving some pain out there or solving some cool use case, something that you can show for recruiters, something that you can show for investors, for VCs. And we're going to solve three problems here today, okay, in this exercise. The exercise is very simple. It's writing a README, okay, but we're going to solve three problems. First of all, coordination problem should start by forming a team with people that are with similar objectives with you, either learning or getting a job or getting billionaires starting a startup or just eating pizza. Like try and find a good group of people that you would feel comfortable working together. If some of you is like competing for grants and the other is just hanging around trying to learn, you might have different goals and you should have conflict and also team formation is the base of everything. People are way more important than ideas in projects. The people are the important part in every project. So the project is just a showcase of your group. It's just a showcase of what you can do. Do not be attached to your project, but to the team, being together. Like, oh, bros, yeah, let's build this together. Yeah, let's go overnight. Yes, yes. And half an hour you're just eating pizza and playing League of Legends, whatever. So this is the most important thing in the bootcamp. Then planning around. Do you plan something that you feel feasible for 1 week? Don't shoot like for the stars. And now I know that it's a beautiful concept, but it can lead you to like, um, uh, what's called like burnout, like overburden yourself. And now it's not cool. We should have something small and feasible for you to learn. The objectives that you learn after a week, you should learn. And solving communications. There is a lot of problems that happen because we don't write things out. So this exercise of writing this README, it's an exercise of communication for you to put something out there. You can change this all later, don't worry. But you should put a name for this project, whatever name, even a random name, AI generated name, a short description that would fit under a Twitter post. You should list out your team here. You can update that list later. You can append this description later. You can change the roadmap as much as you want, but have an initial place so that we can brainstorm with written stuff. Okay, we forget what we say. What is there written? Do not write too much, but at least try to write what you want to remember later. Then we're going to solve the ideation problem that are not the most important ones, but is very important because a lot of people try to build technical ideations. Oh, I'm going to use cloud. I want to use Creo AI. I want to use Coinbase with Polygon and all. They know all the solutions, but they are not solving anything. So you have like a Frankenstein of technology. Sometimes the most important thing is for you to solve a problem, for it to be useful, for it to have meaning for someone. So ideation should be building a lean MVP that is viable, that solves a problem, and that's something that you can explain to someone that moves the needle. Can be a little AI calculator that for like blind people instead of typing would listen. Okay, anything like that simple and close scope it is good. Do not need to solve a big problem. Okay, and then the third thing, that is what everyone focus, but it's actually the most easiest is the easiest part to solve compared to those other two. That is the execution, how to code. You can ask an AI to code right now. Like 2 years ago, it wasn't possible. But execution is way simpler. You do a good documentation and a good drawing of architecture. You have a good execution planning and monitoring, and then you do a good job on presentation delivery on the Saturday. I'm going to guide you through all of those three, and you're going to do a good job. Okay. So this exercise, you're going to get a group of 2 to 5 people maximum. Recommended amount is 3. If you can find 3, 4, let's say it's good. You're going to create a GitHub repository and put a README there with this explanation. And we're going to submit this in the project discussion category. Okay? I have created this category here in the repository. So you are going to find it here, and then you're going to pick this project and create a new discussion. Clicking this green button and place. By today or maximum tomorrow, if you're watching this later, do that right now. Click on this green button, because before tomorrow, I want to see this list of projects, okay? We're going to start tomorrow with this list of projects, and we are not going to proceed the bootcamp while we don't have everyone listed here. You can change later, okay? Do not be too perfectionist, because later, if you change idea, if you pivot, or if you pivot, or if you have another feedback, or if you start another project, you can create another, you can change here, okay? So do not think too much, do not overthink, just create a project there, and that's good for the homework, okay? Good enough. We finish it at 13. Yes, I have 2 more minutes from what I have expected. But okay, this is the first day. We are on track. Any questions? We have pizza though. It's getting cold. Maybe chat over there. Okay, that's good. Thank you, everyone. Here. Recording here. Okay. Thank you, everyone.